Hello guys and welcome to my new video. Today we're going to talk about about Virginia, but not about the gubernatorial election, not about New Jersey, not about California, but I'm going to talk about the biggest problem, at least in my opinion, for the Trump administration. We're going to have a video about the suburbs. We got a video about suburbs. That was one of the problems, and now I'm going to talk about, I think it's even bigger than the suburbs. Of course, it's not in the same size, but it's also very concerning for the future because the Republicans have been gaining a lot in this community, in this constituency of voters, and right now it seems that everything is going not in their direction, at least in the 2025 elections, and we'll see about if that is completely true, whether we can predict what is the impact for 2026. And especially if there's anything the Trump administration can actually do in order to improve, at least shrink the size of this problem. Okay, so the problem I'm talking, of course, is about Latinos. You saw in the title, okay? And this is one of the biggest problems for the Trump administration concerning elections, okay? I'm going to talk about Virginia, New Jersey, and California because those were the states we got elections last 2 weeks ago, okay? And that is the reason why I'm going to talk about those, okay? You can apply this to Texas, you can apply to many other states. Usually what happens in one state, especially in 3 states, it can actually be passed to another state because that actually is a trend that has been verifying nationwide. Okay, so we're going to talk about Virginia first. I select here about 6 counties. There are 6 counties and independent cities. You have that in Virginia, like this. This is a county, and this is the independent city. This is Fairfax County, this is Fairfax City. Okay, you have the independent cities and counties in Virginia. It's very weird, but it's that way the Commonwealth of Virginia is. So, we're going to talk about 6 counties. Manassas Park City, okay? Manassas Park City, which is here, it's a city, it's not a county, of course. I'm sorry, it's a very small thing. Abigail Spanberger won by 30 points. Look at how Trump did there. Trump there, I'm not Prince William, won by only 15, so it's a 15 points shift, okay? Then we got Manassas, that's Manassas, okay, I'm sorry. We have Manassas Park, which I don't know where it is, to be honest. I'm going to check here. I don't care, to be honest. It's here, 22 points more Democratic. So you mean the shift is bigger in very Latino counties. Of course, you go to, for example, to Prince William County, which is 25% Latino. I have here in my info. I don't know these numbers by heart, to be honest. Prince William County is 25% Latino, and it voted for Abigail Spanberger by 34. It voted for Kamala by not even 20, so that's another 15 plus point swing. And the point is, the Prince William is 25% Latino, but Manassas Park and Manassas, the 2 cities, those are almost 50% Latino. So that means they're almost it's almost everything, majority Latino, okay? That's very important. And then you go, for example, to Arlington, Fairfax County, there's still Latino communities. And we talked about Loudoun in the suburbs question. Loudoun is not too much out of Latino things, but it's still a very huge swing because it's a swing population. It's a suburb, okay? But I go, for example, to Arlington, 9 points. And this Arlington County is already very Democratic, so you cannot move a lot because it's still very overwhelming Democratic. Whereas, for example, Prince William County, Manassas, those are slightly more competitive areas. It's still very Democratic, but it's not a blowout Democratic area. So that's the difference I'm making here. So you would argue that the transformation in the Democratic Party is happening in the people that vote that were shifting away from them. Okay, you go, for example, to 2016. Trump lost Webb County in Texas here by around 70-30. Clinton won it 70-30 in 2016. Trump won Webb County in 2024 by 2 points. That's a 42-point shift in only 8 years. Okay. That's not great for the Democrats. So you are thinking, if you're a Democrat, why am I losing those voters? Okay, that's really the question you need to ask yourselves, because we need to think in the way the people are voting. So why are we losing those voters? People say, and the Republicans are saying, it's because of immigration issues. It's because of the border, so immigration, as you know. It's because the Latino population, which is also immigrant, are getting tired of those and of other immigrants, which is very funny or quite weird if you think about, but that's just how the way it is, okay? And that is, of course, speculation. We don't know the exact reasons people are voting, but you conduct polls and you can find that out. And for example, you go to, for example, New Jersey, okay? You go to Passaic County. This is very Latino, okay? Passaic County is 44% Latino, okay? It's almost majority Latino. It's slightly in the minority, but it's almost majority. Trump won Passaic by 3 points. Look at Mikey Sherrill in Passaic. She won by 16 points. That's a 20-point shift. It's almost one of the biggest. We talked about Hudson, it's the suburbs, it's Jersey City and the suburbs, but it's still, Hudson is a very Latino population. It has 41% Latino. So the 4 biggest in New Jersey are Passaic, swing of 19, Hudson, swing of 23, Cumberland, which is right, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know where the county, of course every county is, to be honest, but I'm just going to finding here. Where is Cumberland? Where is Cumberland? Okay, here. 10 points, 9 points. And then we have Union, which is 35% Latino. And that's a swing of, be honest, Union, where is Union? To be honest, oh my god. Here, 11 points. So we got 11, 19, 23, and 9. That's biggest, that's all of them, almost all of them, are higher than the average, okay? As you can see here, from the 4 I mentioned, 1, 2, 3 are here. 3 of the 4 are in the top 6 that swung the most, okay? So the swings we saw in New Jersey, which were very, very big, at least in my view, I didn't expect this to be by 14. I said it, I apologize for my prediction because that was wrong, at least. I mean, I don't know what happened, but now we can understand. Latino population turned out in mass numbers, especially here around Jersey City, especially around Passaic. I don't know the city to be exactly. Also a little bit around Newark, but they turned out in bigger numbers and they voted overwhelmingly Democratic by 2017 and 2016 margins. Which, at least my view, was not possible, but it was possible because, I mean, elections, everything is fair game during election night, and this was really a surprising thing for me, and the Democrats need to be, we need to talk about the Democrats this time because they did a great job turning out voters, mentioning all the difficulties the Trump administration is putting in the workers. I don't mean I can agree with that. I just mean those are the types, the Democrats are the strategies they're using, okay? Also that Trump is evil, that's what they're saying, okay? And we need to fight against Trump, so we need to vote Democratic if you don't like Trump. That's most of the Mikey Sherrill voters voted for her because of disagreements with President Trump. So it was not in support of her, it was against Trump. And this is really important when you consider very, very important metrics for 2026. So you're moving out to California, the last state. I just want to bring here California. So we saw Virginia, we saw New Jersey, of course, the 3 states we got elections, statewide elections, not a couple of times. We can talk also about Pennsylvania very quickly at the end, but let's just go talk about California. So California, the biggest, of course, is Imperial County. We all know that. And Imperial County swung. Trump won this. So this swung by more than 20. Trump won this by 1, so this swung by 20 points. Imperial County, okay? Imperial County, 20 points. They're still counting votes in California. What a shame. It's shameful, really, how one of the best countries in the world, if not the best, is still counting votes after 2 weeks, or almost, it's 2 weeks, yeah. So Imperial County is 20 points, and then we got Riverside. Trump won this as well, another 12-point swing, but Trump won this by 2, so 1.3, so that's another 13-point swing here in Riverside. San Bernardino is also very Latino, so Imperial County is 85% Latino. 85% Latino. Riverside is around 50%, 54 in San Bernardino. Also Trump won here, and won here by 2, and now he voted by 14, so that's another 16 points shift. So you're getting 20s. You're getting shifts in the Latino population by 20s, okay? 20s percentage points, which is very impressive. Of course, you have Los Angeles, also a little bit Latino, it's it's very Latino, it's almost majority Latino, 48% Latino. And as you can see here, the swing is very impressive. I just want to check here, if you will. It's around 16 points. And Merced County, I just want to find that county because I don't know. I just want to check because I think it's a smaller county. Yes, it is 56,000. A swing of 11 points. So the point is, many counties that voted Democratic right now voted for Trump in 2024, As you can see here, San Bernardino, Riverside, Imperial, and I don't know where is the other one we checked, but it's here. It's that county, voted for Trump as well, and Fresno as well. But Fresno we don't have here, but probably it's not Latino heavier as many others. But he still voted for 4 and voted for Trump by 4. So that's an 8 percentage points shift. So another shift, which is very interesting. If you apply this to Pennsylvania, which is very, very interesting, we can just choose a race. I want to say the most competitive one, just because I want to get the biggest swing the worst candidate got. And let's just go to Lehigh County. That's the biggest producer in terms of Latino voting in Pennsylvania. The swing for this race was around 15 points. The shift in Lehigh was, Trump barely lost Lehigh, to be honest, and this was 60-40, okay? Lehigh County has the city of Allentown. I think it's majority Latino, to be honest, Allentown, but all of this area around the suburbs of Philadelphia is a little bit Latino. Pennsylvania does not have the huge Latino communities as California, as Texas, as many other parts, but this is also a little bit Latino. Allentown is Latino. I don't think it's Latino majority, but it's almost that, okay? And the point is, this is not looking great, especially if you consider the gains the Republicans made in Nevada, in Arizona, especially around here, Yuma County and Tucson and all of those, and around Texas in the border. This is not looking great, my friends. If you're a Republican and really need to be worried, contact your representatives if you want to share your message and to support your party, and really need to find a new strategy for 2026, otherwise you will be cooked in the election in November, okay? So guys, this was the video. I hope you have liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your like, and we'll be back with new videos very soon. Thank you.